Dahi idli. Hi, welcome to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. I'm Sonika, and the recipe that we're making today is a superb one. Well, we're making idlis, and then we're going to add another fantastic touch to it. We'll be adding curd to this. So let's quickly look at the ingredients to make dahi idli. Soaked rice, split skinless black gram or urad dal, yogurt, green chutney, sweet tamarind chutney, black salt, jeera powder, crushed black pepper, red chili powder, fresh coriander finely chopped. Oil for greasing. So now to start with, we're going to prepare the batter for the idli, and for that I'm going to take the rice, next we're going to add in the urad dal or the skinless black gram, and now we're going to grind this to a slightly coarse paste. Now that we've got a paste of somewhat like this consistency, we're going to add some water to this, and then we're going to grind it to a much smoother paste. I think this paste can be a little more smoother and a little runnier, so I'm going to add very little water more. And we're going to give it one more last split. So our idli batter is perfectly ready. So now that we've got this batter perfect, I'm going to get it out in a bowl. And now we're going to cover this batter with cling film or a muslin cloth and let it ferment overnight or for 8 to 10 hours before you can start preparing your idlis with them. So we've got a batter that has been rested and is fermented perfectly, and you'll notice the difference is that there will be like tiny little bubbles that show signs of fermentation. So this batter is perfect and ready. Okay, so before we start preparing these, we're going to just slightly season the batter with a very little tiny pinch of salt and give it a good mix. So to make the idlis, we've got an idli stand over here, and we've got a steamer over here which I'm going to fill with some water. Not too much, very little bit of water. And we're going to cover this and let the water come to a boil, so a nice steam is built up inside. And in the meanwhile, we're going to lightly grease our idli molds. And now we can start pouring in spoonfuls of the batter, idli batter, into these molds. So, and make sure you don't overfill these molds because they're going to rise a little once they're cooked. So a little dollop of this should be fine. So there's a nice steam built up inside this cooker right now. And now I'm going to quickly place these on the idli stand so we can start steaming them. And then place the stand into the steamer. And now we're going to let these steam for about 8 to 10 minutes or till the idlis are perfectly cooked. So it has been around 8 to 10 minutes and our idlis seem like they're perfectly done. Let's quickly take a look and confirm this. They do look like they're ready. So now we're just going to let these cool a bit before we can start demolding them from the idli molds. So dahi idli, now let's quickly start preparing the chaat part of this recipe. And for that, now dahi idli can come in two variations. Either they give it to you with sweetened yogurt or they give it to you with plain, just really well beaten yogurt. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of both today. So I've got this yogurt with me which we've whisked really well so it's nice and lump free. So dahi idli can be done in two variations, okay? Either they can sweeten the yogurt and give it to you, or they can give it to you just with well beaten yogurt. So I'm going to be doing a bit of both today. So I'm going to add some powdered sugar to a part of the yogurt. So we get a nice and sweet, creamy yogurt mixture. So give this a good mix. So So when you have this recipe in a restaurant or on a street cart, what they do is they give you these steaming hot idlis dunked in ice cold yogurt with a lot of these chutneys. But how we're going to be plating them today is we've got a serving platter on which I'm going to place the idlis. So let's get them out of the molds first. And we're going to drizzle it with some of the yogurt and all the amazing chutneys. So for that, since we've greased these, it should not be a big pain to get them out of the mold. You can see how easily they slip out of the mold. So these are ready. I'm just going to place these on the platter. Now we're going to drizzle these with some of the dahi. Over this, let's add some green chutney. And also some sweet tamarind chutney. Now over this, I'm just going to add a little bit more yogurt because these are dahi idlis after all. And now we're going to sprinkle all these dry masalas. So a little bit of jeera powder, a little bit of black salt, some lovely red chili powder, a tiny little pinch of black pepper, crushed black pepper, and a little bit of finely chopped coriander over each of these for garnish. So here it is, we put together these dahi idlis, which is a fabulous recipe. It's easy to make, it gets made within a jiffy once you have ready idlis. So make sure you try this recipe because it is fabulous.